Good morning, friends. Today we'll start the chapter number 6, that is tissue. Okay, in this chapter, we discuss the some points that is about plants and animals made of same types of tissues or not, plant tissues, animal tissues. Okay, in plant tissue, we discuss about the meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. Screen is not available. Okay. Okay, now can you show the screen? Hello? Can you show the screen? No. Okay. So in this chapter, we discuss about that is animal tissue, plant tissue. Okay. In plant tissue, we discuss about the meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and complex permanent tissue. While in animal tissue, that is we discuss about the epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nerves tissue. So first, we discuss about that is the introduction of the tissue. So here in unicellular organism, that is as for example amoeba is the unicellular organism. Okay, so it has a single cell. Amoeba has a single cell and it is able to perform all the functions of the body, while in multicellular organisms, since there are millions of cells in multicellular organisms, there are millions of cells and they are group based on their specialized function. Okay, in multicellular organism there is a division of labor. There is a division of labor. While a group of cell performing similar function and are similar of structure and forms the tissue. Okay, how is the form the tissue? A group of cell performing similar function and similar in structure, it forms tissue. Okay, and they are specialized in particular functions and those are grouped together in definite place of the body. So here we discuss about that is amoeba. So all living organisms are made of cell. Okay, all living organisms are made of cell. In amoeba, that is a single cell perform. Okay, as we know that. So single cell carries out movement, intact food, respiratory gases, okay, respiration and expiration. All these are function in unicellular organism. While in multicellular organism, there are millions of cells. As we discussed previously, there are millions of cells. Okay, and most of these cells are specialized to carry out few function, and these cells carry out only particular functions. For example, that is human beings, muscle cells contract and relax to cause the movement, nerve cell carry messages, blood flow to transport oxygen, food, hormones, and waste material, and so on. While in plants, that is vascular tissue conduct food and water from one part of the plant to the other part. So here in multicellular cell organism, it shows the division of labor. It means that a particular function is carried out by the cluster of cells. Okay, and this cluster of cell, that is called the tissue. Okay, so here that is a blood, phloem, muscles are all example of the tissue. Okay, so here a group of cells that are similar in structure and performing similar function, it forms a tissue. Okay, a group of cells that are similar in structure and performing similar function. Okay, similar structure and similar function of the similar performing function, it forms the tissue. Okay. Now, next topic, that is, are plants and animals made of same type of tissue? So here, that is, they are different. Okay, plant tissue and animal tissue, they are different. Now here, that is, as we know that plants are stationary or fixed. Okay, plants are fixed. Plants don't move, they do not move, and most of the tissue, they are in supportive. Okay, most of the tissues, they are supportive, and it provides strength, it provides the strength. And these tissues are dead. Dead cells can provide mechanical strength. Okay, dead cells can provide the mechanical strength, while in animal on the other hand, that is, move around in search of the food. Okay, most of the animal, they search the food, they can be moved. Okay, the search of the food, that is, mates as well as shelter. It can be, animals can be moved from one place to another places, and they consume more energy. Okay, animals consume more energy, and most of the tissues they contain are living. Okay, and that is another difference between animals and plants in the pattern of the growth. The growth of plant is limited, okay, to the certain region. Here the tissue, that is various plant tissue, can be classified, that is fast growing, that is meristematic tissue, growing, or meristematic tissues, and permanent tissue. Here the cell growth of animal is more uniform. Okay, the growth of the cell in animal is more uniform. Here there are difference in organ system design, they're different in feeding method. Okay, all these are, we can be observed in both the tissue. Now here, that is we discuss the in-text question, that is what is a tissue. So here, as we discuss about, that is the tissue, that is a group of cells having similar structure and performing similar function is called a tissue. Again, I repeat it. Group of cells having similar structure and performing similar function is called a tissue. Then next, what is utility of tissues in multicellular organism? Okay, in multicellular organisms, tissues are formed by several structurally similar cells. Okay, in multicellular organism, tissues are formed by several structurally similar cells, and these tissues perform specific function at definite location in the body. Okay, these tissues perform specific function at the definite location in the body, and due to this ability, there is a division of labor. There is a division of labor among the cells of the body, and the tissue then form organs, and organs constitute system. The working of the various organ system is well coordinated due to the system. Okay, so this is the utility of tissue in multicellular organism. Again, I repeat that is, in multicellular organism, tissues are formed by several structurally similar cells, and these tissues perform specific function at the definite location in the body. And due to this ability, there is a division of labor among the cells of the body. The tissues then form organs, and organs constitute system. The working of the various organ system is well coordinated due to the tissue. Now we discuss, that is the plant tissue, that is first topic, that is meristematic tissue. So first we discuss, that is the activity 6.1. So for that, as shown in the figure, we take the two glass jar and fill them with the water as shown in the figure. Now take two onion bulbs and place one of each jar as shown in the figure. Okay, take two onion bulbs and place one on each jar as shown in the figure. Now observe the growth of the roots in both the bulbs for a few days. Now we have to measure the length of the roots on first day, second day, third day, okay, like that. On fourth day, you have to cut the root tips of the onion bulb in jar second by about 1 centimeter length. Now after this, you have to observe the growth of the roots in both the jars and measure their lengths each day for 5 more days and record the observation. Okay. Again, I repeat, that is, first you take the 2 glass jar and fill it with the water. Now take 2 onion bulbs and place one of each jar as shown in the figure. You have observed the growth of the roots in both the bulbs for few days. Measure the length of the roots on first day, second day, third day, like that. On fourth day, you cut the root tips of the onion bulbs in jar second by about 1 centimeter length. After this, observe the growth of the roots in both the jars and measure the length each day for 5 more days and record the observation. So from this observation, we give the question answer, that is first one. Which of the two onions has longer roots and why? So for that, from this experiment, we give the answer, that is the onion from jar first has longer roots. The root tips of onion from jar first are intact, therefore they keep on the growing. Okay. So which of the two onions has longer roots and why? Because the onion from jar first has longer roots as shown in the figure. The root tips on onion from jar 1 are intact and therefore they keep on growing. Okay. The next question, do the roots continue growing even after we have removed their tips? So the answer is roots of onion from jar second do not grow further after cutting off their tips. Okay. The roots of onion from jar second do not grow further after cutting off their tips. Then next question, that is why would the tips stop growing in jar second after we cut them? So when the tips of the roots are cut off, their apical meristem is lost and this tissue is responsible for the growth of the plant. Okay, and when it is not there, the growth halts, growth will be stopped. Okay, so again I repeat this, why would the tips of stop growing in jar second after we cut them? So the answer is when the tips of the roots are cut off, their apical meristem is lost and this tissue is responsible for the growth. When it is not there, the growth stops, okay, or halts. Now discuss, that is the meristematic tissues responsible for the growth of the plant. As from this experiment, we can be conclude that meristematic tissues are responsible for the growth of the plant, and it is also known as dividing tissue. Okay, meristematic tissue is also known as the dividing tissue. Now initially they are meristematic but alter with the growth. They mature and differentiate the produce other tissue. Okay, they mature and differentiate to produce other tissue, and it has dense cytoplasm and thin cellulose walls. Nuclei are prominent and vacuoles are the absent. Okay, here, that is meristematic tissue is responsible for the growth of plants. It is also known as the dividing tissue, Initially, they are meristematic, but alter with the growth, they mature and differentiate to produce other tissues. And it has dense cytoplasm and thin cellulose walls. Nuclei are prominent, vacuoles are the absent. Okay, in this meristematic tissues. Now, it is located in the specific region of the plant. It depending on this region, meristematic tissues are subdivided into the following category. That is, first one, apical meristematic, apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Okay, in three categories. So first we discuss about the apical meristem. In apical meristem, present at the tips of the roots and stems. Okay, present at the tips of the roots and stems. It increases the length of the roots and stem. Okay, apical meristematic, as shown in the figure, present at the tips of the roots and stems and increase the length of the roots and stem. Then second one, that is the intercalary meristem. So it present at the base of the leaves, present at the base of the leaves or internodes on twigs or internode on the twigs. Then third one, lateral meristem. In lateral meristem, that is present, it presents on the lateral side. Okay, as shown in the figure, it present in the lateral side. Increases the girth of the stem, increase the girth of the stem as well as root, and is also known as the cambium. It is also known as the cambium as shown in the figure. So again I repeat, that is the first one, that is apical meristem. It presents at the tips of the roots as well as stems. It increases the length of the roots and stem. Second one, intercalary meristem, present at the base of the leaves or internodes on twigs. Third one, that is lateral meristem. It presents on the lateral sides. It increases the girth of the stem as well as the root, and it is also known as the cambium.